The general was renowned for his unshakable confidence bordering on arrogance. He'd always been right, or so he believed, which is why when he issued a dare, it sent shockwaves through the entire base. Defuse this bomb in 9 seconds and I'll resign. It seemed impossible, a cruel joke with the lives of everyone at stake. But from the corner of the room, a calm voice rose above the stunned silence. That's not enough time. Give her 10 and she'll do it. Everyone turned to see a young woman confidently striding towards the explosive device. Her name was Captain Eva Lynn, a bomb disposal expert whose skills were often overshadowed by the male-dominated field. But now, all eyes were on her, questioning if she could pull off the seemingly impossible feat. Seconds ticked by like minutes, each one amplifying the tension as the bomb's timer relentlessly counted down. With every passing moment, the possibility of success seemed to dwindle, making the task appear more daunting than it already was. As the timer reached its final moments, the weight of the challenge pressed heavily on the captain's shoulders. However, she remained unfazed, showcasing remarkable composure under such immense pressure. Just when all hope seemed lost and the threat of imminent danger loomed large, the captain made her move. With lightning-fast reflexes and an unwavering focus, she initiated the process of disarming the explosive device. The suspense was palpable as the ticking bomb seemed to amplify the sound of her actions, each move sending a jolt of anxiety through the onlookers. Time stood still as she worked, the fate of everyone hanging in the balance. In what seemed like an eternity, but was in reality a matter of seconds, she successfully neutralized the bomb. A collective gasp echoed around the room as the ticking stopped abruptly, replaced by a profound silence that was deafening in its intensity. The danger had passed, but the aftermath was far from over. As the room slowly came back to life, the realization of what had just transpired began to sink in. Captain Eva Lynn had not only defused the bomb, but she had done so in a manner that defied expectations and challenged the very foundations of authority. The general, once a symbol of confidence and power, was now faced with the bitter consequences of his actions. His career, built on a foundation of pride and dominance, began to crumble, leaving him to confront the reality of his situation. The weight of his misjudgment pressed down on him, serving as a stark reminder of the day his arrogance cost him everything. Now let's dive into the story of how a single mom named Annie saved the day when her son and his friends needed help. The sun shone brightly over the peaceful neighborhood, casting long shadows from the trees lining the street. Children's laughter echoed in the air, creating a symphony of joy that seemed to encapsulate the carefree spirit of summer. But in the midst of this idyllic setting, a tense drama was about to unfold within the four walls of a seemingly ordinary house. Inside, a woman named Annie was busy in the kitchen. Her movements efficient and precise as she prepared lunch for her son and his friends who were visiting that day. As the aroma of freshly cooked food filled the house, a sudden commotion erupted from the children playing outside. Startled by the sudden noise, Annie rushed to the window and her heart skipped a beat. What she saw was both alarming and distressing. Her son Leo and his two companions were trapped on the roof of their treehouse, surrounded by a growing crowd of older boys who seemed determined to prevent their escape. Fear clutched at Annie's heart as she witnessed her son's distress. Seeing the malicious grin on the face of the ringleader, a boy named Trevor, who had long been the bane of Leo's existence, a wave of anger washed over her. She knew Trevor and his gang had been tormenting her son for weeks, but she never imagined they would escalate their bullying to such a dangerous level. Without hesitation, Annie sprung into action. She quickly finished preparing lunch and called out to her husband, Tom, who was out on a business errand. As she waited for her husband's return, she devised a plan, her mind racing with strategies to rescue her son and his friends. Time seemed to stand still as Annie raced through her thoughts, desperate to find a solution before the situation took a turn for the worse. Finally, she decided to confront Trevor and his gang directly. With a determined look on her face, she stepped out of the house, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The sight that greeted Annie outside was both chaotic and disturbing. Leo and his two friends were huddled together on the treehouse roof, their faces etched with fear as they desperately tried to find a way out. Meanwhile, Trevor and his gang were jeering and taunting from below, egging each other on with cruel laughter and malicious suggestions. The standoff had reached a fever pitch, and Annie knew she had to act fast. As she stepped into the yard, the noise from the crowd seemed to amplify, drawing everyone's attention to her. Annie stood tall, her voice ringing with authority as she confronted Trevor and his gang. Her words were sharp, cutting through the haze of childish taunts and revealing the harsh reality of their actions. Each sentence she uttered was a testament to her strength and determination, a shield protecting her son and his friends from further harm. However, Annie's efforts were met with resistance, stubborn and defiant. Trevor, unwilling to back down, continued to taunt, his words laced with malice and disrespect. The standoff intensified, creating a heavy silence broken only by the pounding of hearts and the distant hum of activity in the neighborhood. The weight of the moment pressed down on all present, each person holding their breath, unsure of what would happen next. But Annie was not one to back down from a challenge. Her resolve hardened, her gaze unwavering as she stood firm against Trevor and his gang. The conflict reached a critical point, threatening to spill over into violence and destruction. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the crowd, his presence commanding attention and respect. It was Tom, Annie's husband, his face etched with concern as he rushed to the scene upon hearing of the commotion. The sight that greeted him was both alarming and infuriating. He saw his wife standing defiantly amidst a circle of taunting boys, her son and his friends trapped on the treehouse roof. Without hesitation, Tom intervened. His voice booming with authority, he cut through the tension like a knife through butter, demanding an explanation from Trevor and his gang. Each word he spoke carried the weight of a father's fierce love and unwavering determination to protect his family. Trevor, taken aback by the unexpected arrival of the burly man, stumbled in his response, his bravado momentarily forgotten in the face of Tom's imposing presence. As the standoff continued, the atmosphere crackled with tension, the weight of the situation pressing down on all present. Tom's protective instincts kicked into overdrive. His gaze unwavering as he stood between his wife and the menacing group of boys. With a blend of strength and compassion, he diffused the volatile situation, ensuring the safety and well-being of his family and their friends. Finally, as the crisis abated and the boys dispersed, a sense of relief washed over the neighborhood. The ordeal had been a stark reminder of the challenges their children faced, but it had also highlighted the strength and unity of the parents and the community. Together they had navigated the turbulent waters, ensuring the safety of their loved ones and reaffirming the bonds that connected them. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the neighborhood, a sense of normalcy returned to the street. The events of the day had left an indelible mark on everyone, serving as a reminder of the importance of unity, courage, and the unwavering bond of family. The houses stood silent, each one housing stories of resilience and strength, while the children played, their laughter echoing through the streets, a testament to the triumph of unity over adversity.